And we're live.
What's going on, everybody? This is episode 127?
127.
127 of Super Deformed Gamescast. This is actually... I started this fucking podcast, and I don't even know what episode we're on anymore. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to SDGC.
It is not helped by the fact that last week we didn't even do an episode. We did that community gaming night.
That was amazing, though.
That's your out for this week. Why you don't know?
My wife was on that, dude. My wife stood in for me, and she fucking did a really good job.
Did you proud? Did better than you would have.
She did a lot better than I. She's just a better person than I am. So we got Derek here. Derek is here. Derek, what's going on, man?
Not much, man. Just here doing the techie thing, running stream, making it happen.
Brandon is here like he is. I think Brandon has, in the 3 years we've been doing this, Brandon's missed like, dude, you missed like three
or four
podcasts. Yeah.
Three.
That's it. You're like the Cal Ripken of this podcast, dude.
I'm the glue that holds us together.
You're like the fucking Iron Horse of this podcast.
I don't know about the Cal Ripken.
If this podcast were to ever end one day, like Brandon would still show up every Thursday night just talking to himself.
I'm that guy who still think,
hey, what's up,
like
guys?
it's a glitch in the system. We're still collecting a paycheck.
For whatever reason, he's still collecting a paycheck, but we fixed the glitch, so it'll just work itself out. And so we got Tom Johnson.
Yo, what's up, guys?
You actually dying over there, John?
Are you okay?
Is this our chance?
Do I need to send help?
Yes, please. You gotta give me a minute. Jesus Christ.
He's choking to death on air.
All right, I'm good. Dude, I had soup before I came down here.
That is not
that's the reason. There was like a grain of barley stuck in my throat that just decided to manifest.
All right.
Some soup sounds pretty good.
At the opportune moment. Okay, so we get Tom Johnson from GameRanx. What's going on, dude?
What's up? How you guys doing tonight?
I just want to point out.
I'm very tired.
Earlier, I think it was last week, I actually popped into Game Explain's chat. Or GameRanx's chat. Yeah, why did I say Game Explain?
Oh, yeah, I remember that. I was running that stream, and that was great.
And then I fucking literally paid $10 to shitpost at
there you go.
Tom and Jake. And what did I do? I started a 5-minute conversation about feta and onion pizza.
Yeah, it's garbage.
Oh, no.
That's what happens. It is. Thank you.
We have hit the quote on bringing up feta and onion.
Is it?
I have a question. Was this the podcast I was on where people were angry about pickles and they were wrong about it?
Yes, absolutely.
It's good to see that the SDGC budget is going to good use.
It really is. Honest to God, it was the best $10 I'd spent in a week. Because
I run with it. I improv like a motherfucker.
Because Tom was so annoyed, and Jake was like, "Who's that? Who's that?" And Tom was like, "It's John."
He goes, "Is that John?" I'm like, "Of course it's John."
It's John, yeah.
And I look at my phone, and I get a DM from John, just like, "Hey, you ready for
this?" Oh no!
I'm such a piece of shit. We've also got Josh Silverman from Constantly Calibrating. Josh, you are now a close friend of the podcast, dude. I am so happy you're here, man.
I know, it took me 2 appearances to make close friend. I like it. I'll take it.
You were an acquaintance before, but now you're a friend.
You know what? We're easy.
Wait till the third.
I know.
Yeah, what's the third time?
The
buddy.
Third time, we actually get an apartment together. So
it moves fast here, Ed. We don't fuck around.
That's a pretty fast next step.
You know what? I love doesn't wait. Okay, like I don't have time to wait. Okay. But we know what we like.
John, there's a whole Steven Crowder article about how love does wait, where he just dunks on people sex.
Okay, so I get real quick.
In that case, love's still waiting.
Yeah, it's absolutely that fucking guy. Thank you for sharing that tweet, by the way, Tom. That was the
best thing
I've seen all fucking day. Like,
my favorite thing to do all day is just like see a ridiculous tweet and just DM it to John. I'm like, yo, have you seen this?
Well, see, that's the thing. Like, half of the shit that I dunk on Twitter is coming from Tom, just DMing me the stuff he finds, and he's like, just today he was like, I knew you would dunk on this, so I just gave you the layup.
Yeah, I
waited for it to happen.
Just give it to you.
And yeah, so anytime you see me do that on Twitter, you've actually got Tom to thank for about 70% of that stuff. So this is some good, solid video game content right here that we're doing on SDGC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
High quality.
Before we jump into the games, real quick, Tom, you had mentioned that you were doing some research. You're doing
Oh.
some YouTube research.
Oh, we talk about what you want to talk about. You want to talk about
I want-
Flat Earth?
you know-
You want to talk about Hollow Moon? You want to talk about
Yo, Hollow
the Men in
Moon is
Black?
where it's at.
Hollow Moon. Give me that
At
Hollow
least they came up with a good name for it.
Am I on a show with a bunch of globe cucks right now?
Yeah. Oh no, you would actually love this.
Proud globe cuck here.
Tom, I was not super recent. It was a couple of months ago in an incident where a coworker attempted to start a fist fight because he believed I was one of the lizard people.
Oh hell yeah, you reptilian!
That's
You know
Yeah.
the guy.
One of
David-
an Anunnaki, yes, the David Icke
Okay. I think
Babylonian
it was
Brotherhood.
Yeah, I think it was David Icke who, like, until he died, people kept thinking it was like, oh man, you got to calm down. Like, you got to stop referring to Jews as lizard people. And he'd be like,
Yeah.
no, you have to listen. They're actual
They're
reptiles.
shape-shifting reptoids. So I had a coworker who thought I was one of them.
There is nothing I love more on this earth than I love my family, I love video games, and I love dunking on conservatives. Like that's my
Hell, yeah, that
that's
seems
my
to be
that's
a
my
drug.
fucking jam right there, dude. Tell me about Hollow Moon real quick before we go start my video games. We gotta know.
Like
about
we've got
Hollow
all this serious, like we got to talk about NPD numbers, we got to talk about this Red Dead stuff, but Hollow Moon has got to come first.
Oh, I have some Red Dead conspiracy theories for later, but
Yes.
so there's
Okay.
a lot to unpack with Hollow Moon. Like, okay, so the moon doesn't exist. The moon is fake. The moon's a hologram. Like, where did the moon come from? You don't know. They say, did you see it be made? That's a big thing with these guys. It's like, oh, did you see it happen? Because then it opens it the possibility up to it being like, huh, well, you're right. I haven't seen the moon be created. There are a bunch who believe that they faked the moon landing. We did go to space, but we faked the moon landing because we had to lie about it because we couldn't actually land because it was too covered in alien space bases.
That's it.
There are a bunch of people who think it's a ship and it's just there, like, because like, oh, it's bigger than any moon. It doesn't maintain what is it? Orbit right because it has thrusters on the back, and that's how it keeps stuff. That's why it's always in perfect orbit and we never see the back. It's don't live like me. It's a lot. I had to get a library card because, like, if I kept spending money on books about aliens, like my wife, my soon-to-be wife, would like leave me for someone else because I spend too much money. It's bad. Don't just listen to my ramblings and don't actually do it yourself.
So I just want you to know that as soon as we're done with the podcast here, I am immediately going to go to YouTube and search for Hollow Moon. I have to see this for myself. I have to know.
Okay, so
I have to know what they're
the one
doing. I have to
thing-
know the truth.
The one thing you need to know more so about Hollow Moon YouTubers, the Flat Earth ones, is they all look like they just got off a 12-hour shift of trying to sell a used car and they could not do it. They just could not close the deal.
That's the best example. 'cause
They
I've
had to
seen
come
a few-
home and lie to their family.
They're all sweaty.
I've seen
It was a
few
good
people
day.
talk about stuff, and that's a perfect example.
Oh my god.
Wow.
All right. Let's talk about some of these motherfucking video games, guys.
Please.
We gotta get this video game talk going. So there's a lot to talk about this week. Of course, Red Dead
We got
Redemption 2.
Cowboys.
Cowboys to talk about. We got. Did you guys see my tweet
Which one, John?
about
You have
Red
a
Dead
lot of
Redemption
them.
2 earlier? I do have a lot of fucking
yeah.
A
tweets.
few.
John, I have
You've
you on
done
alert.
several of them.
I have you on
I-
alerts. I see a lot of tweets from you.
Oh, that's-
I'm not gonna lie. I tweet a lot. I've got a lot of fucking tweets.
Yes.
I tweeted. So real quick, I want to point out.
Well, admitting it is one of the first big steps.
Yeah.
I just no, that's true. That's absolutely true. I just want to point out I saw this morning that I think it was EGM had a quote that was featured on Metacritic, where it said if you voluntarily miss Red Dead Redemption 2, then you're just not a gamer.
You're either
And-
not a true gamer or in a coma.
They also
or in a
called it the
coma.
They also called it the rootinest, tootinest, shootinest cowboy game.
They
Which
did.
is pretty good.
They did.
That-
So I tweeted
support
out,
that.
That's a back of the box right there.
in my excitement today, I tweeted out ready
he
to
was
play the
digging.
rootinest, tootinest, shootinest, cowboy bootinest, wrangling, dangling, outlaw
Oh.
mangling, lion dancing, stallion prancing, brother bustling, cattle rustling, heart throbbing, stagecoach robbing, hat tipping, table flipping, Red Dead. I'll fill you with lead game ever. Yeehaw!
Good thing Twitter increased their character limit.
John, are you
know.
okay?
I am.
After that,
Imagine-
Did you read John's twit longer?
Putting it to good
So-
use.
So, like, I'm bringing that up because just as an aside, I can't stand that kind of gatekeeping bullshit.
Oh yeah, no, it was
I fucking
horrible.
hate it.
Like
John, only real
all-
gamers can appreciate this.
Does this mean the gamers have risen? Tom, are the gamers rising up?
Okay,
Like,
so no bullshit. I send it to you multiple
Rise
times a
up.
week when I see like unironic use of gamers rise up.
I love it, and I'm no bullshit. Tom has actually sent me multiple instances of non-ironic. You know, the gamers are rising. The gamers are rising. You know, it's so bad. It's real bad.
from Twitter accounts with 11 followers and
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no. Some of these guys have like 600 followers, dude. You know, like some of it. I mean, 'cause
upsetting.
it's serious because these guys are serious. They actually mean that.
yeah. Oof.
But we'll start
I'm
off talking about
figuring we
NPDs.
start with NPD. Yeah, even though we don't have Matt Piscatella here this time, we do have them NPDs. I've got it up. I've got the
We can
the
read
numbers
a chart.
right
You know
here.
what? Tonight I'm
We are
Matt.
capable.
You're Matt
I'm
Piscatella.
Matt Piscatella.
We're all Matt
Tonight I'm
Piscatella.
Matt Piscatella. You can just imagine Matt in his backwards hat
Yeah.
as he always wears.
You wish you were as good looking.
and-
Jesus.
Matt is a fine looking character, and you guys can
He's
pretend
appealing. He's appealing in his own way.
he's very appealing. So I am Matt Piscatella, and I'm here to give you the NPD report. Gaming consumers, and this was reported by VentureBeat, our friend Jeffrey Grubb. Gaming
Jeff
consumers
Grubb is a
in the-
friend to no one.
Jeff Grubb is a pretender. I'm not gonna lie. Like somebody at Jeff Grubb and timestamp this. He's a pretender, and he doesn't know how to play Overcooked. At least whatever. Gaming consumers in the United States spent 1.376 billion in September, according to industry tracking firm the NPD Group. That's up year over year. It was an especially strong month for Marvel and Sony's Web Slinger and a slew of other releases. Yeah, no shit, Jeff. No shit, it was a strong month. September 2018, track spending across video game hardware, software, accessories, and game cards grew 7% when compared to a year ago to 1.4 billion. So the numbers for September were the total number was 1.376 billion. 306 million of that was spent on hardware. Software, including console and PC, was 747 million, and accessories were 323 million, which is up 43%. And then for as far as year over year, comparing 2018 to 2017 so far in terms of year-to-date dollar sales, right now the industry total is up 16% year to date. Hardware is up 18%. PC and console software is up 5%, and accessories are up 35%. Like, did some fucking magical controller come out that I don't know about?
I mean, it's
What?
maybe it's still Fortnite because there's on PS4 if you buy a controller you get a Fortnite like exclusive skin.
Yeah.
I'm willing to give that free.
think
Like
it's-
that's probably why, because good lord, the Fortnite bump is real.
Yeah, it's an exclusive
It's real.
skin. And then there's one for Switch, there's one for Xbox, there's one
I-
for
I
PS4,
did-
and there's one for fucking Galaxy Note phones that cost $700.
Yeah. Oh, I will say I did buy 2 PlayStation 4 controllers this month.
Oh, so you are.
It's all you then.
I bought
Tom
three in the last 2 months.
Tom and his pro PlayStation, anti Xbox, and
No.
Nintendo agenda here.
I got that regular clear one that looks like a Nintendo 64 controller. I got the cool blue anniversary one,
Oh
and I
hell yeah!
bought- and I got the one that looks like Goku. Like I don't understand why it's the problem.
Ew.
That orange and
Right
blue
now-
is a little weird.
Right now, you are Finn's best friend. I don't know where Finn is. Finn was supposed
What
to
do
be
you mean?
here
I have a pair of $300 Goku
Finn
Nikes
shows
to
up
my
when
left.
Finn shows up
Adidas,
precisely when he
Adidas.
means to.
Yeah.
Finn
It's
is
never late.
Finn just
No, it's here.
is.
So let's talk about Spider-Man. It was an exclusive game for PlayStation 4, and it outperformed every other new multi-platform release for the month. And it also has a historical significance to the release as well. And this is coming again from VentureBeat. Spider-Man, the best-selling game of September, can't talk tonight, achieved the highest launch month dollar sales for any PlayStation exclusive in history, and is the 7th largest launch ever achieved by any game on any PlayStation platform. Marvel's Spider-Man generated higher dollar sales in its launch than any other game this year, and currently ranks as the 3rd best-selling game of 2008 and the number 8 best-selling game over the last 12 months. But here's the crazy part, right? This game, Marvel's Spider-Man, achieved launch sales 37% higher than the combined launch month sales of all other Spider-Man games released since the NPD Group began tracking in 1995.
Oh man.
Whoa.
I mean, like just anything
Insanity.
Marvel prints money right now.
yeah,
Well,
Marvel's
this
at the
is-
top of their game right now as a brand.
Yeah.
I know a bunch of people who don't play games that like I hear going on about Spider-Man all the time still.
Mm-hmm.
like here's the thing. Like I expected the game to do very well simply because there's so much mind share around Marvel properties right now.
I mean, it's the biggest
it-
franchise in history, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, I mean it's Marvel's flagship character, but I was not expecting this because Spider-Man. It helps that the game is awesome, right? Because Spider-Man games traditionally aren't very good. Let's face it. I love the fucking game personally. I just finished the Black Cat DLC last night.
Oh, that
It
is
was
out now.
fun.
I need to play that. I've got
It
that
is.
sitting and
Yeah.
waiting.
I would recommend waiting.
We'll just wait till
I would
all the packs come out, you think? Okay.
Yes,
Good.
because without dropping any spoilers, it is very clearly one big connected story,
Gotcha.
and the DLC kind of just ends. It kind of literally just ends, and you're like, okay, well, tune in next time, I guess. It's about a 3-hour experience, and so if the other 2 DLC packs hold true to that, you're probably looking at like a 10 to 12-hour experience. If you play all 3 of them, so I would just honestly, I would wait and do that because there is clearly a connected story here.
I can do that.
But I mean, this is phenomenal. So, I don't know. I'll throw it at you. I mean, I will throw it at you guys. Did any of you see this coming? Because I sure as hell did not.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
I saw it.
I mean, I
Yeah.
figured it'd be successful. This is a whole other level of success, more than I was personally anticipating.
I think so. I mean, this is like a little above where I was expecting, but probably not that far above. Like, so the way I was thinking about it is the Spider-Man games. Spider-Man is already like one of the top video game franchises of the PlayStation 2 era. Period. Spider-Man 2 is one of the most legendary just games of all time, period. And that's before Marvel was the property that it is now with the general public, and the gaming audience has only grown since that console generation, I feel like. So to me, I was looking at this and saying, you know, this was going to be huge. And what I'm hoping comes out of this is that Marvel has had some bad runs with their most recent forays into games. I mean, Marvel's Capcom Infinite didn't go super well. A lot of their free-to-play stuff and mobile games have been
All the mobile
okay money makers, but they die off fairly quickly and they don't really keep much of an audience. And I'm hoping that something like Spider-Man, which is clearly made with love for the project and love for the property by the team that's making it. You know, and they put out this fantastic game, so obviously it sold well, and then word of mouth, which people consistently undervalue as a marketing tool, helped sell it even harder. You know, that hopefully Marvel looks at that and sees this Insomniac Spider-Man as the pattern to follow moving forward of put the money in, take the time, you know, do it right. Don't just try to get something out there that can make money.
Well, you know what's really interesting to me is that because Insomniac's last game before this, correct me if I'm wrong, was Sunset Overdrive, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely.
Sunset Overdrive, which barely made a blip. Like that was nothing, right? Like
I actively dislike that video game.
I thought it was really good.
I think
but
whether you liked it or not, it obviously was held back by being an Xbox One exclusive.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely. That's the reason no one played it.
yeah, precisely. But what's interesting is that the pendulum on this has swung completely in the opposite direction for Insomniac, right? Like their next game is it's a Sony exclusive, and it's on track to be probably Insomniac's best-selling game of all time. It probably already is.
It probably already is.
Probably, yeah.
if they haven't greenlit a sequel like already internally, then I don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Dude, they took a little vacation and they are already fucking working on the sequel, right? I guarantee it. I guarantee it. And I could not be happier. I mean, it's obvious that Insomniac was the absolute perfect choice to pull off a great Spider-Man game. The only other studio I feel could have done it as well would be like, you know, like a Sucker Punch or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I am really, really happy. I'm thrilled with what Insomniac did, and it's one of those worlds. Spider-Man. I'm a huge comic books guy. Just like Finn. Where are you, Finn?
It had to be a dream project for so many people that worked on that game.
Oh,
Well,
without a
and-
shadow of a doubt.
Absolutely. Well, and it's one of those things, guys, where like, you know, initially you start, you know, you're like, okay, well, I wonder if this is going to be one of those situations where, you know, the developer and, you know, / publisher is like, well, you know, just the developer in this case would be like, well, I sure wish that we had gotten our game on multiple consoles, but I mean, they clearly are fucking rolling all the way to the bank on this one. So I think you can almost, you can almost guarantee the next Spider-Man is also going to be an exclusive title as well.
Oh, yeah,
Because there's no way Sony's letting that fucking
No,
Yeah.
out of the
they've
stable.
made the money on their investment.
Sony is trying to keep everything they can still hold on to that's Spider-Man within their grasp, because they let Peter go for just a moment, and they wish that they didn't have to cut Marvel a check out of Homecoming.
So
For sure.
Here's the other thing. Somebody actually threw this question to me, and I'll throw it to you guys because I thought it was a really interesting question. And it ties into the movie universe as well. Now, obviously, like the rights for Spider-Man as an entertainment property, like the media rights, are held by Sony, right? Sony Pictures does the Spider-Man movies. They own the rights.
Always have the PS3
Always
with
have.
the Spider-Man font.
With the
Yeah.
font and everything. Yeah. With the success of Homecoming, and the positive reception to Spider-Man in the MCU, I was wondering whether or not Marvel or Sony would actually take the rights back from Marvel, because there is a limit to how many movies Spider-Man is supposedly going to appear in the MCU. Like they've got him for like 3 or 4 movies, and that's it. However, with the success of Spider-Man, the game, I'm wondering if that combined with the reception for Spider-Man in the MCU, I wonder if that's going to combine and just convince Sony to say, okay, well, we won't sell the rights to the character back, but we will allow you to do whatever you want with him in the MCU for as long as you want to.
I don't know that whatever's going on with Spider-Man on PS4, I don't think that has nearly as much of an impact, unfortunately, as Venom doing good at the box office is the problem.
That's so fucking
Because Sony
Box office juggernaut.
Yeah, I know. We've known for a long time that Sony basically wanted to loan Spider-Man back out to Marvel to kind of rebuild him after they fucked it up, and they wanted to go back to their internal Spider-Man universe, and that looks like they're going to try to go ahead with that. Because now they're talking about Spider-Man will appear in the Craven movie and other stuff. So I don't know that this game made a difference, to be honest with you. I feel like the game's space is different and doesn't really impact decisions made by in regards to Sony Pictures,
Yeah.
And
Especially
again,
because sorry, go on.
No, please. No, Tom, go.
I was going to say, especially because the numbers it's pulling are huge numbers in general, and they're huge for video games. When you compare it to the grosses for an Infinity War movie,
yeah,
it's a
that's a
drop
good
in the
point.
bucket. They see that
And I
number and
don't
they're
know-
that's cool, but we made how much on Infinity War?
yeah. They made how much on this cheap Venom movie that they turned around and
Oh god, that's depressing, really, because
Hey.
we're getting a fucking Venom sequel now, and
As someone who
hell yeah.
loved the movie, I'm in favor of that personally. But I think it's
god,
I'm not here to.
it's the best romantic comedy of the year. And I say that's not even
A
being
Man and a
sarcastic,
Symbiote.
it's legitimately the best romantic comedy I've seen this year.
I know that scene where Eddie Brock and the symbiote made out, it just got me so hot in the theater. I was just
It did it for you.
It really did. It made me bond with the symbiote, to coin a phrase. I really that was really, really just an erotic moment. It was fantastic. I've already had way too much to drink on this podcast. I think we would be remiss. I think I think we would be remiss to not talk about some of the other major sellers for this month. Forza Horizon 4 did really well.
No surprise there.
It says here it achieved the highest launch month dollar sales in Forza franchise history, and is the biggest launch for a racing game on any Xbox platform in history. It was also the 7th best-selling game of September. So, congrats to who was it? Playground Studios.
Playground, yeah.
I'm curious about that. I'm curious how much, because this wouldn't be tracked under there because the way it is. I want to know how many people would get that on Games Pass on top of all that.
Is Games Pass not counted on NPD, or
is it not? I don't know. It's a subscription thing.
I don't believe it is. But then again, I'm not 100% certain because
we don't have Matt here to clarify.
I'm not sure if that I just assume that wouldn't include Games Pass, but if it does, that's interesting. But if not, I'm curious what the attach rate was for that.
I would assume that it doesn't, simply because I know that the NPD operates on dollar sales now and not units sold.
Oh, point. Yeah, so it wouldn't count things that are in subscription services. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would venture guess and say that that's probably not the case.
Yeah. Because every person I know that has that service downloaded that game day one.
So here's my question, right? Like I've got there's a game on this list that I've got questions about, and it's Shadow of the Tomb Raider. It kind of came and went without any fanfare at all. It seemed like to me.
Yeah, people are way
Um,
over it.
But it
already.
clearly sold all right. I mean,
Yeah.
So here's the thing, and here's my question about that. It
And they
said
always tend to do well.
it was number 5 in the sales chart for September, and it also the launch of the last game in the series. However, having said that, there's two things that make me wonder about this. One, like the game has already been discounted. Like the game already saw a steep discount.
Yep,
And
immediately.
two, outselling the launch of the last game of the series is not that's a low fucking bar.
yeah.
Because that game launched right next to Rise of the Tomb Raider, launched right. God, these fucking titles, these Tomb Raider titles, stop.
Yeah, I had to stop and be like, is it Rise or Shadow is the one that just came out?
I always have to think about it whenever I talk about it. But
Rise should only be the first or third. There's no reason that should be the second.
absolutely, it
in
doesn't
the
make any
sequel.
fucking sense. Rise of the Tomb Raider launched right on top of Fallout 4. So when you tell me
was-
that, hey,
It was also
outsold,
exclusive.
Yeah.
it was. So that to me is a rather low bar. So I would be very interested to know what the sales.
But
not
dollar
even-
amount, it still hit 5th. So, I mean, again, clearly it didn't
did.
bomb.
it
But
did.
how expensive was the game to
But
produce?
see, here's the
like,
thing, though. But see, here's the thing. You got to consider this. It was available on far more platforms. Forza was only available on one.
yeah, that's true.
And so it doesn't surprise me that it would outsell an exclusive racing game. But you got to wonder really what the sales for this thing actually were. I don't know. I will be very interested to see over the next month or so what the legs on this game look like. I expect it to drop out of the top 10 completely next month, to be honest.
You know what's goddamn amazing is Super Mario Party coming in 9th with only 2 days of sales and no
Not
digital
fucking
tracking. What? Like,
That Switch
That
thirst.
fucking-
I
that fucking
I know the Switch bump is real, but still, what? Like, Mario Party has not been a sales juggernaut for a very long time. I think the first one on Wii did exceptionally well, but ever since then they've tended to do pretty middling numbers. So for it to hit again whatever a number of sales, 9th place was in 2 days with not counting the digital, and we know that Switch games, first party games, sell very well digitally. That is, I don't want to say it's more than it deserves necessarily because I liked the game, but like, wow, I would not have seen that coming.
I mean, dude, like games fucking. I mean, you guys know games fucking sell on the Switch. Like, I know as much as Tom does not like Octopath Traveler, and I love it. Like that game sold like 1.5 million copies in a month. Like, I mean, games fucking sell on the system. I mean, it's
Yeah.
I mean, I think every one of Nintendo's
Starlink only sold on that system.
Starlink, boy. That game apparently from what I've heard, that game is a massive bomb.
Oof.
I know. Yeah.
Which is really unfortunate because it's really good. And it's a lot of
I'll
fun.
pick it up when it's $18 at Target
Like,
on Black Friday.
or next week. Like it apparently has not sold well at all. Not even on Switch because and honestly, it's the whole fucking Toys to Life thing. Like I don't like the
That's
game
over.
itself.
It's
the game
dead,
itself
Jim.
is great. The game itself is great. I don't understand. Yeah, JT's in chat. Hey, JT, if you're in chat, why you're not on the podcast?
Yeah,
Dude,
what the
you-
hell?
Come back. But the game itself is fucking fantastic. And if you buy digitally, here's the thing: switching your weapons in the game is actually faster and more intuitive. Just doing it in the menus than it is actually fiddling around with the fucking models. So I don't quite understand the whole Toys to Life deal. Like I don't.
It seems shoehorned in as a way to try to make more money off of it. So
It does.
I think it's a shoehorn thing, and I think they may have just already been investing in that direction.
Yeah.
They-
They
With
announced
the
that.
shit.
They announced that when Disney Infinity was still a thing, didn't they?
Mhm.
Yes.
Which
Well,
is-
I will say this though, dude. The fucking Star Fox content is actually baked into the game itself. Like it's not just like some side bullshit. I mean, it's clearly. I mean, Star Fox and I mean, they were clearly put into the game later in development because like there's cutscenes where they're just kind of standing in the background, looking around and nodding quietly and not saying anything. Like they're like, yeah, we got to go get Grax. The bad guy Grax.
They exist.
No. The team is like, yeah, we got to go get Grax. And like in the back, you see Star Fox, and they're all like,
I silently
other, like-
agree.
but how having said that, there is dialogue between like lots of dialogue between Star Fox and the team when you're flying around, and the content itself is like an hour long from what I've heard, but it's level gated in such a way that you can't just go and tackle all the Star Fox stuff at once. Like you'll do a Star Fox mission, you're looking for Wolf, and then you'll have to go level up and just do some story missions, and then you can come back to the Star Fox stuff when you're properly leveled. So there's some grind involved. But the other thing, before I get too far down the Starlink track, the other thing I wanted to talk about with the NPDs was the annual sales. Best-selling games in the last 12 months: Call of Duty World War II, Super Mario Odyssey. Fuck yeah, the game is amazing. Far Cry 5, which has been sitting on my hard drive since I bought it and I haven't touched it yet. Star Wars Battlefront 2. Like, here's the thing. Like, so it's the fourth best-selling game of the past 12 months, and I don't hear anybody fucking talk about that game.
You know why? Because normies are buying it because it has a stormtrooper on the cover.
True.
And
he's not wrong.
He's not wrong at all. NBA 2K18, Assassin's Creed Origins, which is selling very well, God of War, Spider-Man, and then Monster Hunter World, which is just, with those sales, we're getting like the next Monster Hunter World game is going to be, that's not going to go anywhere.
It's going to be stupid.
Switch. It's not going to go anywhere near a fucking handheld system.
Dude. I can't wait because it's Capcom, and they're going to make not have their priorities in order and make 6 other non-world games before they make a World 2. Absolutely.
You're not going to see Monster Hunter World 2 or Monster Hunter Universe or
Electric Boogaloo.
Monster Hunter World Generations Ultimate Edition.
Yeah.
Capcom.
Oh,
please call it Monster Hunter Flat Earth. Please. Yeah. Please call it Monster Hunter Hollow Moon.
They could sell 2 versions, Flat Earth Edition and Hollow Moon Edition.
The DLC is Hollow Moon.
Flat Earth Edition is the console version. Hollow Moon Edition is the handheld spin-off.
Yeah, and then Hollow Earth we'll get into on another episode.
Yeah.
And we also got to talk about Xbox, man. Like, Xbox has really turned themselves around, dude. Like, you got to hand it to Microsoft.
The X was the right move for them to make. I mean, to sell to the enthusiast crowd a very expensive, powerful machine. I didn't think it would work. It's doing better for them than their previous method was. So, congratulations. I'm happy for that.
I have to eat crow on this one because I thought that both the X and the Pro were a really bad idea that were going to backfire. But
I did too.
Same.
We talked about it. I remember.
Yeah. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Brandon, none of us apparently know what the fuck we're talking about because that was the opposite of what happened.
I mean, traditionally mid-gen upgrade mid-quel systems don't do that well. I mean, look at it's what killed the Sega Genesis long term. None of Nintendo's handheld mid upgrades in modern years have done particularly well because of the increased power.
And
none of their, sorry.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say the surprisingly the Xbox One X 1 terabyte black system is the best selling Xbox bundle of the year. That's units and dollars.
Do any of you guys have that thing?
No.
Nope.
No, I've got this. I've got the S because I'm not willing to spend $200 extra for a little bit of extra juice.
I really want one because it's a really nice looking box, but I just can't justify it when I have a really high end PC.
Oh, yeah. Dude, it's the sexiest looking console I think I've ever seen. Aesthetically, it's fucking, that's beautiful.
The one we have at the office, they sent us the Scorpio edition that has the gradient and the neon green on it. And it's one of those beautiful consoles I've ever looked at.
Yeah, that's the good.
I had some Taco Bell yesterday. I was hoping to win an Xbox.
It also weighs 3 Xbox One S's.
Yeah.
dude, I ate so many fucking gorditas trying to win an Xbox One X.
It was a double chalupa.
Yeah, it's the worst box they've ever had.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah. Oh, I get a chalupa every time I go to Taco Bell. It's my favorite thing. So yeah, I was all about it. But
I gained about 7 fucking pounds trying to win an Xbox One X.
I have one more NPD thing that I think is particularly noteworthy. So it wasn't top 10, but Dragon Quest XI managed to make 11th place. So Dragon Quest XI charted. Which is incredible. It apparently did double the previous best-selling entry, which was 9 on the DS. I want to say.
No, 10.
Was it 10? 10 didn't come over to the US.
Oh, it did come over to the US. You're right. Okay, 9. Yeah. You're right. 9. Yeah.
So it would be. I think it would be 9 on the DS. Which, I mean, granted, 9 was also a cheaper game. By virtue of being a handheld title, but I'm not I haven't played many Dragon Quest games, but I'm very happy to see that the franchise did well enough that I think its future in the United States is likely safe for a while. Because Dragon Quest has kind of been on that precipice of is it worth Square trying to continue bringing it over? And the answer would be yes if you guys fucking marketed any of the games. But yeah, with 11 actually doing moderately well, that hopefully puts the future of the franchise, at least for a while, out of danger for Western fans.
There's absolutely going to be a Dragon Quest 12 in the States, but it's not going to happen until we get
in the
11
States
on
was the
Switch.
important part. So
What I'll say is it's been a weird year for Japanese, like very, very Japanese games
yeah,
in this market.
Yes,
like
it
they say
has.
Yakuza 6 is the best selling in the series, and now they're bringing other weird ones over.
yeah, Yakuza's. I mean, yeah, the last couple of years have been really good for very Japanesey games. I mean, Nier Automata did super well. Yakuza 0 kickstarted the franchise, and I think Yakuza 0 was one of the best games of last year. I mean, period.
It was like number 3 on my list last year.
Yeah, it was.
Dude,
it was a good contender there.
It came out at the very end of 2017, so I'll include it. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 sold well over 1 million copies.
Yep.
Octopath Traveler, I think, ended up selling about 2 million copies.
Yep. I hate that game, but it sold numbers.
So you know we're gonna get a sequel. Thank God.
Unfortunately.
You know what, man? Fucking ass. That is a wonderful, blessed fucking game. We are
even like it's funny because we're taking it for granted because of how well it did, but Monster Hunter World, like even with all of the concessions that were made to Monster Hunter, you may not even consider them concessions because a lot of them were good choices, but a lot of the changes made to Monster Hunter World to make it fit the Western audience better, that's still an exceptionally Japanesey game. That is still a game where you and your tiny cat best friend.
It's got cooking cats. It's got cats. A 7-course meal. Fuck yeah, it's Japanese.
Yeah, I mean,
it still doesn't have health bars.
Yeah,
like, hey,
you still got kawaii ugu like quest handlers, and I mean, like it's still goofy as shit. You still got goofy dudes with top knots and man buns, voiced by Matt Mercer, swinging around swords 3 times their own height. Like,
by the way, you just reminded me, by the way, Derek, this is a little off topic, but when you mentioned NPC, you guys know that horrible, stupid fucking NPC meme? The worst fucking thing on the internet right now.
I think we've talked about this like 3 times this week, just the meme in general.
I saw the
finished my drink when this got brought up.
I saw the best tweet about this fucking
onto the water
shit I've ever seen. When this guy was like, my son called me an NPC, so I gave him the quest to get the fuck out of my house. Dude, that's one of those tweets where you look at it and you're like, I wish that was mine. Yeah, I wish I had come up with that. That's fucking brilliant. But anyway, Derek, please continue. I wanted to get that off my chest because I've been thinking.
But no, I mean, Tom, you're right. Like, this has been a good like last couple of years in general for very Japanesey games that traditionally haven't done super well in the West. And I wonder what has caused that very drastic shift very quickly.
Yeah, even stuff like Persona 4 was big, but Persona 5 numbers that made that look like shockingly low. So like even games that were like of established franchises but still kind of weird did even better. So it's like wild to see. I'm actually way into it.
Yeah, I'm about this. Like, let's go.
If we follow that trend, guys, I guarantee you Shin Megami Tensei 5 on Switch is going to sell fucking gangbusters.
Oh, I guarantee it. Especially if Nintendo assists in marketing at all, which they likely will because they did that for Shin Megami Tensei 4 and 4 Apocalypse, right? So, I mean, Nintendo's going to lend part of their marketing arm here in the West to that. And that's a big thing is these games traditionally don't get a lot of marketing love. And, yes, good word of mouth means a lot nowadays. But if you aren't getting that word out there at all, I mean, Monster Hunter World, we were just talking about, did so well. Wouldn't have done nearly as well if they weren't, advertising that shit all over the place, You
gotta be thinking, man, like, I'm like 60 hours into fucking Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse, and I still haven't finished it. I need to go back and finish that.
That's too late. Give up.
Or you could just not touch a DS ever again until you're in the ground.
Yeah, that.
I still love my 3DS. I don't give a fuck what the haters say.
If you could put a gun to my head right now and tell me you need to play games on the DS, I'll just say pull the trigger because I'm not doing this.
It's fine. It's 2018. I want to be dead anyway. Let's go.
Right now, if the 3DS is the only way I can play fucking Earthbound and Super Mario World in bed, then fuck it.
You don't have to just play new games.
So these games are still fucking good. So, dude, sometimes I gotta get my fucking my Super Mario World on. What's wrong with that? These are classics, dude. Super Mario World, Super Metroid, Chrono Trigger, and Final Fantasy VI are games I literally play almost every year. I play them once every year.
I've played those also. I play like 4 times each
Fucking Brandon
in
the
the last
MVP,
10 years. I mean, just in the last 10 years.
Brandon the MVP right here. Fuck yeah.
I mean, what? I
Um,
just finished Earthbound like a couple months ago.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that, dude. You fucking love that game.
I've played Chrono Trigger like at least 10 times.
I've
It's a
played
good
Chrono
man.
Trigger probably 15 times. Yeah,
It's a good
played that
man.
game way
That's
too fucking
excessive,
much.
but
John, how can you
yeah.
play these games in 2018? There are no graphics.
literally
Yeah.
zero graphics.
Unplayable trash.
Absolutely no.
They're
fucking-
text adventures.
Literally Zork.
trash. Literally Zork. Dude, I tell you what though. Speaking of fucking graphics, let's talk about Red Dead Redemption 2 for a minute.
That's
Oh
a
my
pretty,
god,
pretty
dude.
video game.
Oh my god. I was watching some Twitch streams. Even at like 720p on Twitch, it looks
Dude,
incredible.
this is a rootin' tootin' fucking game if I've ever seen one.
Remarkable.
Like-
The landscape. Everything it looks like a fucking portrait. Like a landscape portrait. It's insane.
So here's my. Go ahead, please. No, please.
I was gonna say I was watching it. I haven't played it yet, but I was watching it in the office today, being played, and like the scale of it the
Oh, yeah.
desolation of it reminds you
There's-
like
yeah.
I was watching today, and my boss was hunting by like a railroad by like a lagoon, so it was going over a small like inward body of water and then went back over, and the scale felt like Fallout because it was just so far. You could see for miles, and like there was like big old hills and mountains and all sorts of like variety of whatnot. It was very interesting to see from like, because Rockstar games I'm used to like population density and buildings everywhere. It was weird to see this, and I'm way into that.
What my thing with Red Dead Redemption 2 right now is I can't remember the last time I looked at a game without having loaded it up and felt legitimately intimidated by everything, every news article I read, every story I hear, every podcast I listen to, every video I see of Red Dead Redemption 2. I legitimately kind of feel a little scared to play the game in a weird way that I'm not like
Same.
I've been
Yep.
intimidated by games when I've loaded them up. Like when you load up a game and you're like, whoa, Skyrim, you walk out into and you're like, wow, there's so much to do here. How am I ever gonna, it's like
I
those
remember that
moments.
feeling. Yeah.
Yeah, but to have that and to not physically have been in the game is new for me, and I've literally just accepted the fact that I will never see the end of this game.
Yep. Even like digging into like mechanics and stuff that you look at, you're like, oh, this is a lot.
The mechanics,
Like,
oh my god.
Like there's a lot going in.
So let's break it down, right? Like here's my first question about the game. So apparently there is a scene where the main character Arthur Morgan is taking a bath, right? He's taking a bath. My question is, we know that the horse
it in a big
testicles
wooden
expand
barrel?
and shrink based on heat. Do Arthur Morgan's testicles also expand and shrink? Like does the sack clench up sometimes? Like
It seems to me like it would be a waste of technology for them to develop that engine and then not use it across the board. But
I feel like
they just gotta hide it so they can have hot coffee too.
Yeah.
These are the answers that the gaming community fucking needs. Like how much work went into Arthur Morgan's testicles? And I love that Sam apparently just arrived in chat, and he is literally coming in when we start talking about Arthur Morgan's
His big
coin-
beautiful balls.
his fucking hairy coin purse over there.
I mean, I'm just gonna assume right here that testicle technology is happening inside the hands of all of the male characters at all times. You're just not
Yeah.
seeing it in motion, but it's happening at all
subtle
times.
effects on the cloth texture at the front. Like,
You have to trust
that's
that
like-
it's there.
That's like 5 gigabytes of the download right
Yeah.
there.
In order to see it, you've got to like walk up against a wall or a rock and turn the camera at just an angle to get in there on the crotch. But it's there. I fucking
you
guarantee
just see the fucking like.
No. You're getting into a shootout with someone, and when you're unloading an entire clip into someone's testicles, you're actually able to see them expanding.
Does
and
the
contracting
sniper
each
elite
other.
style?
the image of Derek just like gently juggling a pair of balls in his hand.
Yeah, but they must have been the size of fucking softballs for what I was doing.
Julian in chat. Julian, the timestamp. Get the timestamp. Gift that.
No,
Please, give that, please,
don't give
Julian.
that one.
This is your task, Julian.
Don't give that one.
Not just a mod and a music guy, but our giffer. So please take care of that.
Oh,
Sam in chat says, "Look, John, I don't come here for clean content. I give up hope." On
yeah, he's right.
You came to the right fucking place. So, but in all seriousness, so Red Dead Redemption 2, I'm actually taking, I'm working a few hours in the morning, and then I'm coming home because let's face it, there's no fucking way I'm going to sit at work all day knowing this game is on my heart.
Yeah, right.
I'm not going to fucking.
I saw a tweet today that was like, I feel really bad for anyone genuinely calling out of work tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. I was honest with my boss. I was like, look, Ron, here's the deal, man. I'm taking off after a couple hours in the office because I'm gonna go play a fucking video game. I'm not even gonna front. And he was like, well, I guess as long as you're honest with me.
Should I even bother streaming XCOM tomorrow? Like, I feel like it's a lost cause.
Of course not. Why would you do that? So you know what? That
I'm like literally at the point, by the way, right now with this where like we just hired a nanny recently, so I can actually start working again. And I am been subtly joking, but starting to get more serious with my wife. Like, can I pay the nanny to come watch the children so I can play Red Dead all day?
hell fucking yes. Just be a legend and fucking do it.
Yeah,
Be a
exactly.
fucking legend and do it. So here's my question.
Neglect.
Who here is
Neglect.
not getting it tomorrow?
I'm not.
So Brandon's not getting it, and Derek's not getting it. What's the
Yep.
reason, guys?
So,
because I'm not gonna lie, if you're voluntarily passing on this, I got to put a fucking gamer card.
Well,
Actually-
first off, y'all already know I'm not a fucking ganger, so obviously.
I am in a coma at the moment.
Yeah. I am not in a coma, but I am actually not a gamer. We've established I'm a lizard man, and I am only
that's right.
performing the necessary steps to
Hold
pretend
on,
to be
hold on.
human.
Wait. Are you telling me that lizard men can't play games because I'm fucking calling bullshit?
Reptilians.
Yeah, reptilians
Reptilians.
can't.
Thank you.
Lizard men can star in them, however, as Soul Calibur has shown.
I want to apologize to lizard men in the chat who may be offended. Reptilians. I'm correcting myself. Are you telling me that reptilians can't play games because I'm fucking calling bullshit right now?
You know what? The Babylonian Brotherhood is too busy doing whatever I was accused of doing.
Yeah.
What were you
But-
accused of doing?
Man, it's a long story. I'll get into it sometime, not on
All
this
right,
show.
fine.
It gets
Fine.
genuinely kind of weird and scary. I have two main reasons. First, I'm generally not a fan of big open world type games. So making the biggest, openest world game ever is like, I can appreciate the art that went into this and the amount of effort that went into this. I would say unacceptable amount of effort that went into this. But it's just not. It's not going to be for me. I'm a grown up. I can admit that a game's not for me. It's fine. I have
you
other
a
things to
grown
play.
up? Are you grown up?
I'm a
You a
grown
big
up.
boy?
Look at White. Look at White. I'm
You're
a grown
big
up.
boy, man.
I'm
You're
a big
fucking
boy. I'm a big boy. I drink my dairy milk. But so that's just a big part of it. It's not going to be the type of game for me. Spider-Man was a very odd man out in terms of being a big open world game that I actually beat.
Plus, it's fucking Spider-Man. Like, come on.
Right, I'm a comic book stan. Like, I love the Dan Slott run, and I heard it was based on that. I had to, but anyway, so that's the main reason. The second
Did you
reason,
see, by the way, Derek, real quick? Did you see, by the way, that Insomniac Spider-Man is going to be in Enter the Spider-Verse?
yes, I saw that suit in the
Yeah,
background.
man.
I loved it.
Yeah. Anyway, please continue. Just point
Second
that out.
reason is for those who haven't been following the story, there's been a lot of news about the degree of crunch, which is insane levels of overtime that developers sometimes have to go through to get a game finished on time or to hit certain milestones. And we got reports that there were certain teams and members who are having to work as much as 100 hours a week to get this game finished on time. And that's unpaid overtime. They're salaried employees. They're not getting paid time and a half for 60 hours of that week. And like I have long accepted that crunch is just a thing that happens in games and software development and almost any kind of like content production, right? Like if you think that people aren't working more than 40 hours a week on like Hollywood movies and stuff like that, I mean, it happens. But I personally, and I understand not everybody's going to feel the same way, I cannot in good faith support those kind of conditions. That's just not okay with me, because I do feel personally very strongly about, labor rights and about, like fair treatment of workers. And I think that game developers in general already get kind of a shit hand in terms of they're not paid very well for the type of work they do. I mean, your average programmer in game development can make a lot more money not being in game development and also work less hours. Just in some of the stories that we got coming out about this in general, Jason Schreier wrote a fantastic article inside the culture of
that guy is fucking pure.
yeah, inside the culture of crunch at Rockstar that I think is mandatory reading. Whether you think this will influence your purchasing decision or not, I think it's important for people to know about, even if they go, okay, this sucks, but me not buying the game doesn't help the people who worked on it, you know, and I can totally understand that. I'm not here to shake a finger at anybody who's going out buying the game tomorrow. That's a big thing for me.
I have a cut on this, but I want to see if somebody else wants to go first. Nobody else.
They're asking if anyone else wants to line themselves up for trolls being in their mentions tomorrow for daring to talk about ethics in games.
I'm caught in between because I want those people to get paid.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
It's not an easy. There's not really a right choice. I mean, it's a messy situation.
But the way I look at it is, I'm a Kanye stan in 2018. If I was going to take a moral stance, it would.
You would have already done that shit. So
that's fantastic.
My thinking with this is, will people not buying the game really affect change? And I'm not saying yes or no, will or not, but will it actually affect change? I tend to look at stuff like what Jason Schreier's doing, what the people on the journalism side taking a stand and making comments and stuff is going to make more of an impression anyways.
Agreed.
Ultimately in the long run, because the simple fact of the matter is, if every one of us didn't buy the game here and all of our followers on all whatever platforms didn't buy the game, that's still not going to make a big enough dent for Rockstar to be like, it's the whole vote. It's not that you get into a voting thing on that as well, but I think it comes down to what journalists and stuff ultimately write about this and discuss stuff and keeping it in people's minds.
Yeah.
Because Rockstar has been shitty with their crunch stuff, and there's been stories about them for years. This is not necessarily.
Oh yeah, they had their own Rockstar.
Every time there's a Rockstar game coming out, we have
there's stories about this.
Some issue, not to the scale because it's more of an issue now, thankfully.
Yeah, this has been the loudest it's been, but
yeah.
But anyway, I think for me, it's not so much like, oh well, people should not buy the game because that will send the message. For me, I can't in good faith, even if it was a game that I think would be for me, I couldn't in good faith support that company. Mm-hmm. And that's a personal stance, but I think what I really want is more for people to talk about it, whether they're buying it or not, and to know about it. Because like you said, I think that coverage and noise means more than a couple people not buying the game, because you're not going to convince people to not buy Red Dead Redemption 2. It's not going to happen.
So I've straight up seen multiple people in development and other people who have spoken to people at Rockstar be like, yeah, that's like the thing that they're saying is like, don't not buy it, but also stay really loud about it.
Yeah.
Like don't back down with it.
Just talk about issues. That's how we get things done, is by having the conversation. That's like you said, the most important thing at this point is for journalists and commentators and even just random people on Twitter, like, just be willing to talk about it earnestly from the heart, about how you feel about it, and don't go surfing the search bar for people to get in fights with, because it doesn't get anywhere. But
say that 5 times fast.
Surfing the search bar.
Let me. So here's
that's
the way
my next album title.
Surfing is that hot new LP coming from Brandon?
Surfing the search bar.
Surfing the search. So here's my take.
It's a Mighty Mighty Boss Tones cover album.
I love Boss Tones.
Apparently John is anti-ska.
I'm not a ska guy.
Oh, Scott. No, dude.
See, we're a big fan of the Sonic Rush soundtrack.
Tom asked on Twitter. He didn't ask me, but he asked on Twitter how much ska music is acceptable to wedding, and I was like, fucking none. Like, no, man, ska is trash.
No, you're trash.
Fuck you, Brandon.
I can't even say your face is trash because.
Were you even alive in the 90s?
Just play a bunch.
He's the oldest one of all of us. What are you talking about?
1980, Brandon. What the hell are you talking about? I was in high school in the 90s.
You just gotta play at the wedding and be like, if everyone could just skank their way to the rotunda.
I was that one guy in high school and for 5 minutes when swing came back and the cherry poppin' daddies were big and the squirrel nut zippers were everybody.
I mean, now it's electro.
You could have made those bands up and I would have.
Everybody in fucking high school was like, yeah, swing is back. And I was the one asshole who was like, this is fucking bullshit garbage. And you all know it. This sucks. This fucking
I did that
sucks.
too. That was my comments too. Back
there you go. Perfect. Exactly. And of course, I was right. But I want to, so my thought on the whole boycott of Red Dead Redemption 2 thing, I've got a kind of a different take on it. I look at it in two ways, right? Like Sean Penn. I compare it to my feelings on Sean Penn. I don't like Sean Penn as I just don't fucking like him, right? You guys know me. I'm very anti-war, but I'm also very pro-troop because I was a Marine myself. And Sean Penn spent a lot of his time shitting all over my fellow Marines and soldiers and airmen and sailors, right? Like he was anti-war, and I didn't agree with the war, and I'm very anti-war now, but I'm also very pro-troop. Sean Penn was not. I don't like Sean Penn personally. But I also recognize that he's a fucking fantastic actor, and if I pass on his movies, then I'm passing on some of the best pieces of cinema in the past 20 years. So I don't not go see his movies just because I don't like the guy. With the Red Dead Redemption 2 situation, it's a little different. Because like, you know what, an even better comparison might be my feelings between, for Rockstar and my feelings for like Warhorse Studios, right? Warhorse is staffed by terrible fucking people. Right, like that's why I didn't buy Kingdom Come Deliverance.
That's the one. Yep, I was like, which game did they do? I'm gonna nod and pretend I remember.
And here's the thing: if anybody in chat did, if you did,
I was like, was it maybe that one that Daniel Vavra was working on? And
I'm not gonna yeah, that's it. I'm not gonna fucking judge you. You play what you want. I mean, I don't like Sean Penn, but I watch his movies. But I didn't buy Kingdom Come Deliverance because I think, although I've met a few of them at PAX, they're not good. I don't like them. I don't think they're good people. The people at Rockstar are it's different. It's not that they're bad people. They're working for people who don't value them.
They're not Stardock.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly. That's perfect. And I don't want to I don't want to pass up something that I know is an amazing game, and two, I don't want to punish them by not spending my money to support them.
Yeah.
Because if anybody in chat, anybody here on this podcast who doesn't want to buy the game based on that principle, I support that 100%. That's your decision. There's nothing wrong with that. But for me, I feel like the best thing for me to do is to purchase the game, not deny myself something that I know is going to be a great experience, while at the same time understanding what it cost, what the sacrifice was to make a game of this scope, of this magnitude, with this much detail. To remember that. And it sounds, some people might say, "Oh, John, you're being cheesy. It's just a fucking game." Yeah, I get that it's a game, but people crunched on this thing. Like, I said this on Twitter, and I'll say it again. When I was deployed to Fallujah in fucking 2004, the second Battle of Fallujah, I was on shift. I wasn't like working the admin desk or like fucking, like doing bulk fuel like some people on Twitter. I was fighting the fucking war. I was wounded in action. I was on shift 12 hours a day and 8 hours on Sunday. I worked a little over, I was doing war in a war zone just a little over 80 hours a week. These fucking guys were making a video game. These guys were crunching harder on a video game than I was crunching at a fucking war. So that to me is unacceptable. It's beyond the pale. Yeah. It shouldn't be tolerated in any industry, not just the video game industry, but any industry. And this is why this is why we need fucking unions in the goddamn gaming industry. This is why we need fucking unions. This right here, because it's
a perfect example. It's self-encapsulated. I mean,
Tom said this. This is not the fucking first time we've heard this song and dance from Rockstar.
Every fucking time.
Every fucking time.
But it's
Max
not
Payne
just
3. It was Max Payne 3 too.
Oh yeah, fucking yeah. But
LA
it's not just
Noire,
Rockstar. It's not.
Team
The Team Bondi shit was fucking unreal.
Yeah.
It's literally every game Rockstar publishes.
I remember around the time of Max Payne 3, people said every day going into work to finish Max Payne 3 was like going through hell.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
They called it. Yeah.
I don't fucking doubt it. And it was the same. Like, dude, like the stories at Team Bondi, like there was like straight up fucking abuse happening.
Yeah.
At Team Bondi, like straight up fucking work, like abusing their workers. I mean, it's insane. And we always hear these stories about Rockstar, but it's not just Rockstar. Excuse me, the beer's coming back up on me. But
that's
yeah,
not
so
great.
Careful there.
So I'm going to purchase the game. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm also going to purchase it because my wife demands it. She loves Red Dead. But I'm going to purchase the game. I'm going to enjoy it. But in the back of my head, I'm going to always have that voice. Like every time I see some horse testicles expand and collapse in on themselves, I'm going to think to myself, like,
how many hours was somebody animating horse balls instead of being with their kids? Like,
not only that, Derek, but here's the real question. Like like all joking aside, we're talking about horse testicles changing sizes based on temperature in a video game. Like, was the crunch, like, is that really necessary?
Yeah.
And is that worth
Oh,
the fucking crunch?
absolutely. John, please.
I mean, the
Dude,
press
they are
generated from
moving-
that was
they are
was
moving gaming technology forward. If you don't understand their vision
one
of the
testicle at a
future,
time.
then you need to get the fuck out. You're
One
not a
time.
true gamer.
I'm
You're not
sorry,
a true
Brandon.
gamer,
I'm
John.
sorry. I'm
How dare you even question the necessity of horse testicles?
John, there are a lot of people out there who, when they're playing games, if the horse testicles aren't dynamic enough, they can't finish.
Yeah.
That's the content that people subscribe to Digital Foundry for.
right. And then because they're not getting all of their proper dynamic horse testicle physics, they get all pent up and angry, and then they come out and they take that out on you and call you a soy boy. So
was this the fucking dude? I get called a
Fucking
soy
globe
boy.
cuck.
I
yeah.
get globe cuck. I get called a soy boy as Tom will talk. I get called a soy boy almost every day on Twitter.
It's too
every
often.
fucking day, I get called like, oh, look at this. I once had a guy with an anime avatar tell me, look at this soy-addled communist over here. And I was like,
Here come the guns.
What kind of a
Like,
person do you need to be to type something like
to
that?
type something that fucking stupid. But
to type something that fucking
pretty-
dumb.
it's
that's
pretty depressing.
fucking asinine. But yeah, so like I you know, I don't know. It's and here's the problem, right? Like it's not going to fucking change. I fully recognize that it's not going to change. This
No.
game's going to sell 15, 20 million fucking copies.
Yep.
And the cycle is going to repeat itself, right? And until we unionize, until this industry unionizes, you're not going to see any meaningful change.
Yeah.
Because you know, did you guys read the Waypoint review that Kirk Hamilton wrote?
No.
No, the
that-
Kotaku one.
Because
sorry, it was Kotaku. I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's
it was
one of the
fucking
best reviews I've ever read.
ever. It was
Yeah.
it was fucking phenomenal, and he was seriously balancing, weighing that into his review, and I think that maybe more reviewers should have, because I kind of feel like, I don't know. Look, I have a lot of reviewer friends, so I'm going to dance gingerly around this, but I feel like there were some outlets that kind of, like, it's the old Rockstar pass, right? Like they always get a pass on this stuff because the games are fucking amazing. My hope is that now finally that we have seen the full extent of what is happening at Rockstar, like the next cycle, because I mean, hasn't Rockstar already said, well, we're going to end that practice now? Like that's done. Like we're not going to do that anymore.
I wouldn't believe it if they
next
said
one.
it, to be honest. You know, I mean, that's just, it doesn't, because what holds them to that, right? Like, especially with the workers not being unionized. So,
Well, and here's the thing: this crunch, like people said, like, oh, the fucking nuclear takes guys from on Twitter, like, well, this is the cost of a good game, motherfucker. This
didn't
is the
Spider-Man
cost.
not go through any crunch? They
Insomniac
said,
does not do
or not
any
any serious crunch? Like,
They don't do crunch. Insomniac has come out and said we do not do crunch.
Yeah,
and look what
I
they were
mean-
able to fucking churn out. Look at that. It's fucking amazing how that shit works. And the fucking
look at how
take-
consistent Nintendo's internal titles are in terms of being like polished and bug free and clean presentation. We never hear stories of crazy crunch
That
internal, do we?
said, Japanese work culture, you don't really talk
That's
about.
true. That's
Yeah,
different.
yeah.
That
It's-
is
it's a
different.
different
They're all
culture.
killing themselves slowly a
Yeah.
bit at a time,
They
as
have
is.
a forest where they all go to kill themselves. Because society's
I shouldn't
pressure-
laugh at that.
No, because society's pressure is so
Yeah.
like heavy, crushing down on them.
You're right. That shouldn't even really weigh in. But
So Pollux Oil in chat says, I get testy when the testicles aren't right. Don't we all? Don't we all?
John, watch out for that ad. I'm gonna be calling you a soy boy soon.
I'm just now
yeah,
waiting
I
for
know.
every future game that has horses in it from this point moving
Yeah.
forward.
John,
If this technology doesn't get reused, then they have not licensed it out.
Yeah,
You
it's
know-
gonna be very
Oh my
upsetting.
god. So guys, here's the other thing I wanted to talk about.
I have expectations about the Breath of the Wild sequel.
There was something that I wanted to put on the topic list, and I'd forgotten about it all day, and now I remember what it is. Let's talk about GOG's Twitter account.
Oh yeah, no, I'd
hold
love
on.
give this one fucking to
Well,
me
before-
because y'all didn't think that I had a pedestal to stand on before.
So
Just let John, before we go, let me just say one thing I told you over Twitter, which is I'm convinced in my weird conspiracy brain that Red Dead Redemption 2 is a right-wing op to distract the youth the week before midterms. Go on, Jen.
Wasn't one of the Halo games released on a voting day?
Yeah, I think
Like,
so.
yeah, and there was like a whole big thing about that. That was an actual news story, like, oh, the kids won't show up to vote because of Halo. And at the time I was like, no, that's cynical and wrong. And now I'm 27 and I'm not even old. And I'm just like, yeah, they fucking won't. Like,
if Square Enix said we're releasing Final Fantasy VI remade with Octopath Traveler graphics, I would not show up to vote. I would fucking be at home.
To give you an
That's
idea
your
of how
thing.
much I care about voting, I forgot to change my voter registration for years, so I have to travel like 40 minutes.
Well, you better fucking vote this time, Tom, because now more than ever, baby, we need your vote. We need your vote, man. We need your vote.
we're talking about
let's have
GOG.
A guy who says like the Holocaust never happened or something. Who knows?
No, oh yeah. Oh no, dude, there's literally a fucking Nazi running in Chicago. Like
Lee
they're running in
Zeldin's one of
Illinois.
ours.
Jesus Christ, this whole situation's so fucked.
His office was at the block of my old apartment was on.
Well, speaking of intolerance, so fucking
Hell
GOG,
yeah.
their Twitter account.
God, so upsetting.
So how many times? So the actual tweet, it was like they used the hashtag
won't be erased.
Won't be erased. Talking about what was the context again? It was like,
So the
these
idea was, it
geos
says
won't be erased,
your PC games won't be erased, with the idea being that if you get them through GOG, they can be yours forever. You can put their EXEs on a hard drive and they're DRM free, and you've got them forever. So they hashtag won't be erased, and then there was another line after that, which anyone who says they just didn't understand what hashtag they were using, first off, fuck off. And secondly, like, they even made a thing about, like, how's that for proper hashtag usage?
Oh
like,
my god,
really?
it was, you
Oh
could
my
just,
god, I forgot about that.
yeah, it was absolutely this smarmy, shitty little, like, just fucking, like, pizza grease dripping out of their mouth as they say it, just like, you know.
So
I read
whatever
that
it-
shit, and it's like, and so for those of you who don't know, like, my little sister is very famously trans and is a fairly active account on Twitter and is kind of friends and family of the cast. So, but even if that wasn't the
I
case,
Lena in chat, by the way.
yeah, Lena's in chat right now, the fucking best. But like, even if that was not the case, like, that would not be unacceptable. But I saw this shit, and immediately I was just like Big Brother mode, like, oh,
yeah, no,
fucking,
yeah, you were mad.
yeah, I was ready to roll.
So apparently the incel who ran that fucking Twitter account is no longer doing it. But how many times is this from GOG now? From
3.
that fucking Twitter?
Three
times.
between GOG and CD Projekt, who owns GOG, which I was not aware of until
3
the
times.
other day. Yeah, it's
And
3
they
times.
didn't fucking apologize. They didn't fucking apologize. That fucking
No, do you know the
It was
Polish
a
political
not
climate right now?
apology.
Of course they didn't apologize.
like what and like what do they call it? The ongoing social debate. Fuck you. There's
It's not
no
a
fucking
debate. They're fucking people.
There's no debate about the rights of fucking people. There's
Yeah.
no fucking debate. It's not a fucking debate. And-
Because the first time CD, what was the first time when it was that CD Projekt did something? It was
it was the
it was an attack helicopter thing, or no? It was like
Yeah,
did you just
no.
assume their gender? It was something
That's
like
what it
that.
was, yeah.
But playing
That
into
was a
that
Gamescom.
shit.
gender.
Yeah. And then the second time was GOG doing Postal 2, and they did the pissing on the grave that said games journalism, which was
Oh
a
my
clear
God, I
dog whistle to
remember
Gamergate.
I remember that.
And then yeah, the third time is this, and it's frustrating because you know what? Up until now, like I've really liked GOG. I own a lot of games on GOG. You know, I like that there's a lot of old games that don't really work that the GOG versions do. You know, and it just don't fucking matter now because I'm not giving you guys money. Not when you're dehumanizing people like my friends and family members. You know, I mean that's. I mean, that you shouldn't need that connection anyway, but it's hard for me not to get mad for them specifically because that is my personal link. You know, but like, no. And yeah, they didn't apologize. They took the tweet down and gave this like really they said it was a pun. They made a pun that was
Nope.
That's
you know,
not what a pun
it wasn't
is.
even a
That's what
pun.
pun is. That's somebody doesn't know what the fuck a pun is. Like that's like me having a hot dog in my hand and saying I am about to enjoy this delicious fucking Reuben sandwich.
I would fight you for besmirching a good Reuben.
A fucking good Reuben is legit.
Yeah, man.
Like
Yeah,
if,
man.
If the bread is toasted just right and the fucking
Let it be
sauerkraut's
known.
tangy enough.
But and here's so I had a thing. I did kind of a long thread on Twitter that grabbed me some trolls in my mentions because of fucking course it did. But
Oh, the fucking GOG defenders were out in force.
oh, I know it was rough.
People love brands.
The
Yeah.
fucking Warriors were up in my
But-
mentions, man.
But here's the thing. Even if you take what they did as an apology, the way I put it, an apology is worth about as much as a hot fart. on its own. An apology is nothing if you don't pair it with behavioral changes. Like, if I get mad in the middle of an argument about what the best game is that came out this month, and I punch somebody in the nose and I apologize for it, like, the apology doesn't take away what I did, and it doesn't, and that person should then rightfully be worried that I'm the kind of person who may do that again. And all I can do after apologizing is just not do that for as long as it takes for them to understand that I mean that I wasn't going to do that anymore. And then the moment I do it again, I've wasted that trust for good. So you don't get to just apologize and say, guys, even if this was the first offense, you don't just get to say, I'm sorry, it was a mistake, we'll take it down. You have to stick to that shit. That's the difference between a Roseanne Barr and a James Gunn, right?
Hey,
like
listen, she
Roseanne,
thought the bitch was white.
right? Like, Roseanne was still actively being a hateful piece of shit, versus James Gunn clearly actually genuinely reformed and kind of went, no, this was shitty edgy humor that can be hurtful and I'm not going to do that. And we had a fucking like almost decades worth of personal growth to look at to show that, you know, and that context matters. And these internet trolls love to try to act like we're supposed to view everything like strict mathematical formulas of, oh, well, if this person apologized and this person apologized, why is it not the same? Context fucking matters.
Well, and especially in the context of the fucking Trump administration is currently is currently trying to take away the civil rights from trans individuals. And so if you want to talk about context, to use that fucking hashtag in such a smarmy manner and then to issue such a non-apology over it.
Yeah.
Like, honest to God. And and if you guys remember correctly, they were like, well, we won't get political again. I'm like, it has nothing to do with fucking politics. It has to do with fucking human
treating
rights.
people like human beings is not politics. Politics, if we want to talk about fucking foreign policy and we want to talk about economic policy and you know, shit like that, maybe that's politics. But whether or not trans people are what they are, you know, the rights of social minorities is not a fucking political subject.
And it's not a debate. And I'll tell you right now, like, this is a different situation, like boycott wise, than than Rockstar for me. Like, this is the thing that makes me not want to fucking support Cyberpunk. And
I'm not gonna, and I would have. Cyberpunk, I would be so into, but nope.
Like, honestly, like, this is the kind of shit that makes me not want to fucking buy the game, and I'm really interested in the game. But this is different. This is different than Rockstar, right? Because, you know, with Rockstar, if you don't buy, like, for me anyway, if I don't buy Red Dead Redemption 2, then I'm not compensating all those people for the hard work that they put into the game, right? But for something like this, like, to have a social media account that represents you in a public forum, issue a non-apology like this, and then just act like you shouldn't have been fucking offended by it. Like, I oh, what are you doing? Like, who cares? You know, like, fuck, it's just jokes, right? Like, just want you fucking put your big boy pants on. Like, it makes me not want to fucking buy the game.
Oh boy, my big boy pants are fucking on. Like, does this look? Yeah, exactly. Does this look and say, what the fuck is? Oh, Martha's out there shining a laser pointer in at me, trying to fuck with me. I was like, there's a shiny red light in my window. The lizard people have come for me. But
reptilians. God,
that's why they're coming for you.
Yeah, but I was like, does this look and sound like some sad little socially awkward, you know, like, I'm gonna go, oh no, the big boys are angry at me because I said something about their GOG. Like, come to my fucking mentions, you know, come at me for real.
My fucking mentions have been a dumpster fire.
Dude, I send my address to Nazis giving me death threats. Like, fucking come on, pull up.
Tom makes a good point though. They're almost always a fucking dumpster fire.
They are. I mean, you know. Yeah.
Your replies are a fucking cesspool.
They're pretty bad. They're pretty fucking bad. But,
I don't know what it is, man.
I'm good at dealing with it though.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I want to throw it to Tom and Josh real quick. Like, what do you get? Like, I don't know. Like, what are your thoughts on this? Is this something that makes you question a purchase from Cyberpunk or whatever else it is CDPR decides to put out? Like,
I'm saying I'm in like a weird position because a certain thing, like my moral obligation or not, I have to play it for work.
I mean, that's true.
Yeah, that's
a pass though. That's different. Like, you're, you know.
Oh, and I was like, I felt really gross about
context
it.
matters, right? So
I was in I was getting dressed this morning and I opened my closet and I looked up and I have that dumb, like the box with that dumb cyberpunk statue they gave out at E3. And I looked up and I just shook my head. I'm like, "Ugh."
I have that exact same statue that's in front of from my closet in my bedroom, just because that's where it ended up for whatever being. And I had the same response where I walked in. I just looked at that thing and I'm like, well, like I
Guys,
literally looked. I wanted to spit in it. In all honesty.
Look at the fucking chat real quick. I had the best spelling error ever. Talking to Anthony from the Escape. Anthony Agnello's in chat. That's the best fucking spelling mistake ever. Anthony, Anthony, you are Kate. You are Kate, Anthony. Anthony, had you come on like an hour ago, had you been in the chat an hour ago, I would have just dragged you into the fucking podcast.
Yeah,
it's
man.
Too late now, Anthony.
I wish I could drag you into Mario Kart, but I understand you're busy.
Anthony's
You're just breaking my heart.
He's too busy to hang out with the likes of us.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, man. Like
I feel weird about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, it makes you feel dirty, right? Like it makes you feel, you know. And I just want to, I'll just state, because I looks like we got a couple new people in chat. This SDGC is a safe place for the LGBTQ community. We will always accept you here.
100% of the time.
You will always be part of our family. You will always be welcome here. Like, all jokes aside, we like to joke around in this podcast, but fucking
never at the expense, never punching down. That's not the right way. Yeah.
Fucking with the rights of human beings who just want to be themselves and live their lives the way that they feel they need to live them. That's nothing to fucking joke around with. That's no laughing matter. And so for anybody who feels ostracized or anybody who is worried about that, you will always have a fucking home with us. We will always support you. Full stop, 100%, no questions fucking asked, ever, period. And if you ever need to talk, you can let me know. Fucking send me a DM. Send Derek a DM. We'll fucking do whatever we can.
It'd be a nice change from the Nazis coming to threaten to come cut my head off. Like,
yeah, it's
you know.
exactly. You know, like you are friends of ours, and we are your family. And we will always support you and love you. God, it fucking pisses me off, man. Like I'm actually, like, I'm fucking amped up about it. Like I'm really fucking upset, because I thought of Lena, dude. Like I thought of, you know, like I just, like, Jesus Christ. Like it's different when it affects a friend of yours.
Yeah.
You know, like, because you know, you're my friend, and so like it hits a little closer to home. You know what I mean? And it's just fucking terrible. But I think that, you know what, let's go ahead and wrap it up, just because we got about 10 minutes to the hour and a half.
I'm hungry.
I know Brandon's hungry. Brandon wants fucking Taco Bell.
I think I want some soup after.
I think we've about it. Yeah.
Soup.
Just make sure you don't choke on a piece of barley.
Dude, that fucking barley
do.
came out of nowhere.
I think I can assure you I won't.
I don't know what the fuck happened there. It was the reptilians, man. Fucking,
yeah, man. So
but
housekeeping. What housekeeping do we have?
So real quick, Anthony in chat, he came in. He said, I came in at the difference between a Roseanne Barr and a James Gunn. Anthony, you missed some really stimulating talk about Arthur Morgan's testicle size. Like, it was really good.
It was actually in the context of that conversation, in fact. I promise.
It was the video game content that our audience craves.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you missed that. You missed Tom talking about Hollow Moon conspiracies.
Yo.
That's the good shit right there. Like, it was fucking legit. Anthony, you missed a lot. You should come in earlier, Anthony, because that's what all the good, you missed all the good topics. Housekeeping. If you guys haven't seen, Derek, we have 2 of our Final Fantasy episodes up.
Just the first one is up. The second one is waiting to go up. But
Anthony and Finn and I are we're doing a retrospective review of every single mainline Final Fantasy game.
You and who and Finn now?
What's that?
You and who and Finn now?
What did I say?
Said Anthony.
Oh, gee, I'm fucking tired. I'm fucking tired, okay? Me, Derek, and Finn. Jesus Christ, I'm fucking tired. I'm exhausted. I'm like 4 beers.
We are doing a retrospective on the Final Fantasy series. So we started with 1 and 2. And basically we just take time, we go back, we reevaluate these games, what was good about them, what was bad about them, what was influential about them, what did we mimetically love about them.
We don't love about them either.
Yeah. I mean, we're honest, we're fair. So the one for Final Fantasy 1 is up on YouTube and SoundCloud, and I don't know if the RSS feed pushed it to the other. I don't know how that works. I don't ever handle that side of stuff. The second one will be up this weekend, and we plan to do 1 through 15 as the mainline games, and then depending on how much people like them, we may do like a bunch of the spin-offs as well.
Oh, we're gonna do the fucking spinoffs. Even people
at least some of the really big ones like Tactics and Dissidia.
got to talk about Dirge of Cerberus, baby. We got to
Right.
have that Dirge of Cerberus conversation.
So we've got that going on. Saturday, 2 days from now, 5 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to do another one of those streamed live Mario Kart tournaments. As of right now, we've got direct feed games, and we have A-Star the Third joining us as a guest for sure with me and John. I think we're still...
You and Tom should join us.
Yeah,
Someone
by
buy
all
me the
means.
game.
Yeah.
What time?
Go buy the fucking
5
game.
p.m. Eastern time on Saturday.
Dude, we streamed that shit last time. We had a fucking ball.
Oh, it was ridiculous. Yeah, we had Anthony Agnello and Rebecca Valentine on, and a couple other people, and it was a great time. It was
Maybe I'll pick it
stupid. Yeah.
You
But yeah, just let us know. And then like I said, after we know like I said, who among like our kind of like journalist, content creator, general personality people can be on, we'll open up and get some other just community members in, because that's always a good time, right? That's half the point, is playing with the community. So Saturday, 5 p.m., we'll stream it, we'll record it. A-Star may do his own stream because he's huge and I'm sure wants that opportunity to do that as well.
And we'll if we leech some followers from him, hey, so be it.
Yeah.
I'm
you know what?
totally
Me and
fine with
Ace
that.
are we're good. He's good peeps. So
Totally fine with that.
he's in my local Smash scene. So we bump heads a lot.
I will also say, Derek, that just a little over 2 weeks before I co-host Kind of Funny Games Daily with Red Miller in San Francisco. So I'm a fucking ball of nerves about that right now.
Now we have somebody in here who just got back from doing that, right?
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
Well, you want to talk about that for a moment? How was that?
Yeah, like fucking yeah. Well, yeah, dude. Do you want to drop? Do you want to talk about what that was like real quick before we go?
Yeah, I mean, I could tell. I mean, literally, it's.
Calm John's nerves because he's over here like.
I'm gonna tell you right now. So I was a bottle of nerves because I got to. I lucked out and also was scared shitless because Justin got to do the day before I did. But Greg, as you know, you've met Greg. Greg is the nicest human being on this earth. He is a loving person. He will talk you through stuff. And it's something else. I mean, you can watch the episode I did. I'm blatantly nervous on that camera for the first.
You look like you're handling it pretty well though.
Yeah,
you warmed up
you
pretty quick.
Told me, like,
with that first 5 minutes, I'm like, I was scared shitless. But Greg takes you through stuff. He gives you a whole document that I'm considering getting framed and legitimately considering getting framed. He gives you a whole document with all the notes on there, everything he's gonna say. But the thing about it is, if you make a mistake, and this is something cool Greg pointed out to before we go, if a guest makes a mistake, no, Greg made the mistake, and he will take responsibility for everything and turn it into this whole thing, and it was just a wonderful experience. Everyone there is the nicest people. I drank like a whole entire case of their LaCroix over 2 days. It was
hell yeah.
You tasted one strawberry the whole time.
No. It was couch leather, I think, is what the flavor was.
Couch leather. Fuck yeah.
It's one of the curate ones. I actually do like it, but it does legitimately taste like an air freshener and couch leather combined.
Nah, man, you gotta get on that coconut one.
Coconut's decent. But it was great. And like it was just this awesome experience to the point that I want to follow John to San Francisco.
Yeah.
Mostly just to hang out, to support him. But
Oh,
also to hang out.
I'm jealous as hell. Like I saw how much fun you clearly had doing that, and I'm sitting here looking at how much fun John's gonna have, and I'm just like, oh, you lucky. That's too good of an opportunity. Like,
Wait, see, here's the problem though. Josh went with Justin, so he had the support group. I'm going to be sitting in my Airbnb room, like alone the night before, just like.
Just call me on Discord. I'll keep you company.
I will.
But no, it was like, but the other things, like, it was such a great experience that I immediately said to Greg afterwards. One, I said to him, these are the people you need to have on. I gave him a list of people because I'm like, yeah, I paid forward kind of thing. But then also it's just like, no, I'm coming back. I told him I'm coming back next year. As long as you will have me, I will be back. And these are the things I want to do with you, because this was an absolutely amazing experience. And I think he called me a cocky little bitch or something. I don't know.
Did he really?
Greg
you
says
would have
some-
deserved it if it came from him.
Greg says a lot of mean things followed by a hug to me on a regular basis.
Fantastic. I do that to everybody I meet. So it's par for the course. I know, dude. That sounds awesome, and I'm really excited about it.
I cannot wait to see you on the show.
I will be doing that. On the 15th.
It's gonna be a very manly episode. You better keep growing that beard.
Oh no, dude, that beard's fucking coming. It's gonna be
Yeah.
thick and luscious. Like it's gonna
Gotta
be.
make sure you get that neckline.
I'm gonna trim. No, actually, I'm not gonna shave the neckline at all. I'm just gonna come in with the full.
You're gonna
neck
go with the
beard.
full natural?
Fuck,
Oh man! All right,
That's how.
come in with the
God,
beard physics.
That's how God didn't intend you to shave your neck. Like this is natural. This is how nature. This is how your beard is supposed to be.
John, there are a few things in life I love more than rebelling against God.
Hell yeah. And the last thing I'll
That's a
mention.
box quote right there.
Yeah.
The last thing I'll mention is we are unveiling our new member of the podcast next week. November the 1st, we have a new member of the podcast.
Will they be revealed on the show itself, or they can be on? How
I
are we
think we're
gonna do
gonna
that?
reveal them in the opening scroll. The opening
Okay.
video. We're gonna.
If you
we're gonna
actually
do it-
think we're gonna have a video intro ready for that, then you
Yes.
tremendously overestimate our ability to get shit
No,
done.
we got it. We got this ready. We got this ready to go. We're gonna unveil our new permanent member on November 1st. Should we give him a hint as to what?
No,
No, nothing at
No.
all. Like
It's not
Actually,
another white
it's too
dude.
important.
it's not another generic white dude. That's what I got.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, that's true.
That's my hint.
There you go. That's very, very true. So, as Square Enix would say, please look forward to that in the future. Please be excited about it. Please be excited.
Please clap.
And if nobody has anything else, well, you know what? As always, it's not always poetry, and we don't always agree, but we always keep it real. So until next time, be good to each other. We'll see you later.
It's so much better when you do it instead of me and Zach stumbling over each other 1,000 times, huh?
I know. I'm really